Hey, Joe Gill here, and I'm here to talk to you about Amsterdam, Holland. Um, Basically, as far as the city is very, very accessible. You can fly at Schiphol Airport is an international airport, and there's a lot of trolley cars that go around the city, and the city is very walkable. As far as hotels, what hotel I recommend, or as far as any location, really you can book a hotel anywhere and you can easily get around the city. Now, with that in mind, the red light district is very touristy, very safe to walk around, even at night and day. And basically, what it is two main roads with a series of narrow roads and alleyways with windows and slash doorways, glass doorways, where women basically stand up there either in their underwear or lingerie or combination of like swimsuits or whatever, and sell their services and stuff like that. The bottom line is that the going rate is 50 euros, and that's pretty much with practically every girl there. It's pretty much non-negotiable. You can't really bargain them down. However, you can bargain them up if you want more time. The general time for 50 euros, which is roughly around 55 or 60 bucks in the neighborhood once you do the exchange rate. As far as the time, you only get about 10-15 minutes if roughly. Some girls who have decenter personalities might give you longer. There's various different races and nationalities. There's German, there's Dutch, there's Russian, although I never ran into any Russian. German, Dutch, Russian, Italian, just, there can be girls from, anywhere around Europe, Eastern, Western Europe, or whatever. However, some of them tend to really cop attitudes and have personality complexes and kind of really hate being there and sort of hate their job. So what I recommend is upon going up there and trying to solicit them is you try to engage them in a conversation first in small talk. In other words, you go up to the window, you kind of say, hello, how are you? What's your name? Where are you from? How much is it? And, maybe talk about the different prices or services and how much time. Get them going in a conversation and see what their attitude is like. If they and see what their body language is. If they seem a little bit bubbly and if they're smiling, I would go for it. And I did narrow this down to a couple of races, not to be racial profile or stereotype, but I found that Dutch women tend to have the lousiest attitude, or the lousiest attitude or the bitchiest attitude there. They'll stand there and you ask them, what's your name? Claudia. Well, how much? It's 50 euros. How much time? Where are you from? I'm from Holland. I'm Dutch. So if they're really short and if they kind of have sort of an attitude, I wouldn't pay them. And I found that with many Dutch, and I've actually slept with a few Dutch there. I've been there 3 times. I was there in 93, 2000, and 2003. So I would just really shop around and get your money's worth, even if it's going to be a short time. On the other hand, I understand why some of them are bitchy. Pot is legal there, and there's a few bars around there that you can go there. And they do sell marijuana cigarettes in some of those bars laced with tobacco. So if you want full marijuana, I would suggest you just go to one of the local smart shops that are there and such. But they do have a lot of stag parties or bachelor parties from England that go over there. And a lot of the tourists do get wasted or they get a little high. So whenever you're putting up with somebody who's kind of loaded and they go in there and they try to, it could be a mess. So I can sort of understand that, but I just don't understand why these gals they don't do a little body language reading also and decipher, okay, this guy's fucking out of his mind, or this guy's too wasted, or this guy's going to be a problem. but they've been so strict. I saw one Irish guy or whatever, one guy who was, I think, with a bunch of his buddies, I think on a bachelor party, went in to go sleep with the girl. And she said, okay, you can't use your hands. And she was, you know, a lot of them, they'll make up their own rules. And he accidentally brushed his hand across her twat. And then she immediately ended the session and kicked him out. So that's what I'm saying. You don't want any of these girls. Go for somebody who's really more down to earth, has a sweeter personality, nice, and really likes her job and likes being there. Now, if you want to know which nationality that is, I found the German women that work there. Honestly, to be honest, if you want to know the two dominating nationalities that work in the rest of the red light district, it is the German and it is the Dutch. You're going to frequently run into, at least that's what it was back in 2000 and 2003. I don't know if that's changed. So you're going to run in. So I recommend German. They just seem very pleasant. They seemed really down to earth, and they've always given me what I consider great service and stuff. So that's what I recommend. Generally, you're safe. Although generally you're safe walking around down there by yourself. Generally, Amsterdam is a pretty safe city, or it was, and so I think you shouldn't have any problems. Although in 2000, when I was with one of my buddies, we were at our hotel. It's a little bit, a few blocks away from the red light district, but still within walking distance. Some guy came in and he was kind of bleeding, and he was just down the street from the hotel, and he got mugged. Some guy tried to hit him and take his wallet or take his money or something like that. So, but that's a given with really any city. So. But I've been there 3 times. I haven't really had much of a problem. First time I went in '93, it was on my own. But other than that, there's other services in Amsterdam. You can go to a brothel, which is going to cost you more money. Rotterdam, I went to Rotterdam for a night. There's a little bit of a scene down there in Rotterdam. I actually went to a massage parlor down there. But there's other different types of prostitution down there that you can look into. It's all legal. But other than that, that's pretty much about it. Just like I said, just a window shop. It's a large area. Try striking up a conversation with the gals, get a feel for the personality, and then just pay the ones that seem decent. You can't downsell the price, but you can upsell for more time. It might be 75 euros for half an hour, 100 euros for like an hour. However, if you really want to get cheaper, if you want to pay less than 50 euros, some of the times there might be less what society would consider less attractive women. Just use your judgment. I don't know if you want to do that. It's like, well, I just want to get laid. I don't care who I bang. There's for less money. You might get an ugly gal for like 35 euros. But generally, the women there, as far as looks, they're pretty nice. They're pretty hot. So, but as far as Amsterdam is concerned, that's pretty much it. Just make sure you like, subscribe, comment, or whatever, and stay tuned. I got some more. I'm going to be changing, making a little bit of subtle changes coming up here in the future. So stay tuned for more. This is Joe Gill signing out. Bye.